Hey, what's up everyone? We have a very familiar client on the table, well, on the floor today, and that is this Toro commercial. I don't even know what it is anymore, to be honest. It's been on here for so many times I don't even know. But the problem is, this is the same one that we've replaced the motor. Later, off camera, I actually put the old tank on because they wanted an old tank. I've serviced this thing many of times. It has a whole new clutch assembly, probably at least a half a dozen belts by now. Oh, this machine is used, let's put it that way. Now, the owner hired a new person about 3 weeks ago. They're using the machine, and their trailer, to save time, they don't have one of those doors that will fold down on their trailer. They actually have one where you have to lift off, and then you have to use aluminum ramps attached to the end of the trailer to pull this thing down. New guy didn't like to deal with that nonsense, so he had been getting a nasty habit of kind of backing it out, holding it, and then pulling on it, except it's hard to explain. The distance between the front wheel and the rear wheel is actually less than the height of the trailer. So every time he did that, it'd be hitting the back wheels on the concrete, only a few inches, but this isn't a light machine. And over time, now, this is happening. I don't know how well that portrays on camera or on a microphone I'm wearing on my shirt, but there's a whole lot of crunchiness going on in there. Owner wants me to look at it, see what exactly is going on. In the meantime, yeah, we'll see. He also wanted me to look at a variety of other things, but that's tune-up issues. I'm going to put it on the table and we'll see what is going on with this machine. You like that? You're not a small engine mechanic YouTuber unless you show you putting the machine up on the table. First rule, having looked at a few things, I don't know what that is, probably nothing, but I'm going to take some blocks, pick up the side, put the block down, take off the wheel, I don't know, maybe 7/16 nut is holding that on, and we will see what type of carnage is occurring. I was way off, 9/16. So, what do we have going on here? There's a whole lot of crusty. All the crusty, of course, is where the gear is. Well, the gear itself isn't looking too healthy. The teeth on the wheel, however, while dirty, are fine. Now, if you want to be sketchy about it, you very well could take these gears off. The other wheel, at least I'm assuming, I can't really remember how this goes on. Sometimes they're directional, like they're supposed to be on a certain way, otherwise it won't work right. But you can switch the wheels and kind of get a little bit more life out of it. I don't really like doing that. So, is that loose? It is loose. That's generally not a good thing. Other than that, it doesn't really seem super horrible. I mean, everything seems to be okay. Just that these are a tad bit more on the worn end. Very well could have been this loose bolt. Maybe it was causing it to move back and forth a little bit and go at a weird angle. This plate could also be bent. I don't know. I'm gonna see if I have that gear. Suppose first thing we should do is take it off, huh? It's like a ring here. Cover your eyes. There we go. I use my hand because I'm not wearing glasses right now. Yeah, so this is just a type where you could potentially just flip it around. You don't even have to go through the hassle of switching the other side. Now, a while back, I have done this to quite a few machines, and I've gotten smart in the fact that I'm going to be doing this for a couple more machines in the future, I'm sure. So I bought an extra set, and unfortunately, it does not have the numbers on it, though. Does it have it on here? No, it does not. But it should be about the same. This isn't horrible, so it's kind of weird that it would be doing the noise. But the wheel itself actually doesn't look bad. It just has dirt in it. So I think we're going to replace these. I'm going to look at the other side. And then I'm going to clean the dirt out of the teeth in the wheel. And between those two, hopefully, well, those three things I'm doing. Technically, I guess this is 2 gears I'm replacing. Make sure that that's nice and secure. I mean, that definitely does look a lot better. And I'm also going to clean out a whole lot of this crap. But between all that, we will see if that cured our problem. So I'm going to make a video on this specifically. So those of you who are still watching will get like a little preview. But this mower, just like many of them, was used in a field. Fields have, for lack of better words, just crap grass. Not crap. The grass there is just, no one cares about it. Maybe a cow eats it, and that's it. And they pretty much just mow it down to keep it low. Fire prevention, stuff like that. Well, let's say this is the landscaper, and the landscaper you hire comes through your yard and does your lawn once or twice a week. Say once, probably because it's cheaper. And then all of the stuff, I mean, this is just part of what came out of it. What is that? It's a plant, more specifically a seed pod, or part of a seed pod. And when they use this machine in your yard, all the seeds from all the crapgrass that they were mowing are now being deposited into your lawn. So I don't want to say don't use a professional or a landscaper, just saying if you do, clarify to them you do not want to use a machine that they used in the field for that reason. Yeah, found a little bit of a problem. Went to go tighten it up. This is my hand. It's flush with that. I think it's tight, and then you go in with anything else. Mind you, this is the slowest setting I can do. It's completely stripped out. So we definitely have a problem there. I've repaired one of these before on a different machine. One exactly like this, but a different machine. So we might have the same repair ahead of us. It's not too bad of a repair. It does, however, require you to use a welder. At least the bolt itself doesn't look bad. I mean, it's dirty, very dirty, but it's not horrible. The good thing is, At least I know I have the gears, and the welder, I have plenty of wire or TIG torch, whatever I want to use. And the wheels so far appear to be fine. I just have to remember how to take this bracket off. I don't think I have to take off the whole thing. Pretty sure we have to take off this clip. Give me some working room here, will you? It doesn't help when the hole for the clip is completely plugged. Try to clean it out a little bit first. Nothing like dirty, rusty clips. So really just bring out your your good part of the day. There we go. Yeah, that doesn't really do anything. We might have to take off this whole thing. Yay! So it looks like there's a screw there, maybe right there. I'm gonna do a little bit more cleaning and it'll take it off. Okay, so the 3 bolts allows me to take off this whole assembly. At that point, I need to take off this little shield. There's one more clip and the whole thing will come apart. So I'm just gonna do that. I've already explained what I'm gonna do, so I'm just explain it real quick. But if you want to see the detail, watch my previous video. It'll show you a whole lot more. But basically, I'm just going to fill that in with weld. And then I'm going to re-drill it and re-tap it for that screw. Or maybe a cleaner one. I don't know to see what the thread condition is. It just may be dirty, I don't know. But once that's done, that's going to be more of a support so the wheels don't sag. I think when the person had let it drop, it just ripped the threads out. I'm assuming so, or maybe they're just bad to begin with. Who knows? But hopefully that will take care of this problem. And now that the clip is gone and the little dust cover was right there, clip is right there. Now we need to remember the stacking. Stacking goes like this. Big washer, another big washer. That one is substantially thinner. Thin one goes towards the plate. Then we have our plate. The plate itself, the 2 holes are on this side. So we have to remember that, because if we put it on backwards, well, probably won't work. And then the rest of it we could probably leave alone after we remove this, because this is our prize. Assuming the corrosion on it is not. There we go. Now, we also have to remember the orientation of this. This should be, yeah, this is the bolt for the wheel. So the wheel bolt goes to our right. Okay? And if we look in there, we see some very stripped out threads. Yeah. I'm gonna get it cleaned up, welded shut, drilled out, re-tapped, and then we'll bring it back towards the end. Okay, I lied, it's not the end yet. So I got it cleaned up around the weld area, but do you see that little crack right there? It's actually going all the way through. So I'm gonna TIG weld this. What I'm gonna do is I'm gonna take my grinder, I'm going to grind this crack out, and then I'm going to fill it with weld as well. The problem with all of this is trying to find the spacing for the bolt hole. I don't think that's going to be too much of a problem. I'm going to put it back on the assembly, put the plate back on, and kind of use that as my guide. But just be careful when you do this. You do want to make sure there are no cracks, because if there are cracks, eventually that crack is going to widen. Then the hole's going to be bigger, and then it's not going to be a correct size for the screw. And then you're going to have more strip threads, or it's just going to break entirely. And, well, you'll need a new bracket, or you'll need to repair it fully next time. And there we go. I left a little mark right there. I'm going to say it so I can know where to drill. It just didn't fill it up with enough weld, but it should be fine. Should be ready to go. If anyone is ever in the market for a place to kind of not tap, but to indent metal, the word is escaping me right now. This one is pretty nice. You hold it. I can still see the hole in the weld. I purposely used stainless steel TIG rod, so it'll be a little bit of a different color. And now I'm just kind of eyeballing it because there's a pretty large amount of play in the other hole. And there you have a tapped, indented, there we go, for your hand drill press, wherever you want to do. Sorry, my mind's a mush right now, but you know what I mean. It's a pretty interesting little tool. I found it online, and it wasn't all that expensive. I think it was like $8, but I use this all the time. You don't need a hammer. It's just a lot more convenient. Just don't obviously pull on it too hard, otherwise you'll break it, which I feel like should be, pretty known for anyone above the age of 8. And the bolt is in, drill, tap, everything should be go. I'm going to go ahead and put the wheel on, and then we'll take a look on the other side. I'm not going to show the other side if I have to do the same thing though. Okay, it's actually the next day, and we have the wheels on, new gears. The other side, the bolt wasn't stripped, so it was still tight. Everything's good to go. I figure we will push it around. I don't know if you can hear it, to be honest, but I'll let you know. That's a lot better. Now, there still is a slight rumble, but you're never going to get rid of all of it. You have gears, metal gears, non-lubricated, but it's definitely not getting hung up like it was before, or making a grindy noise like it was before. I say we give it a pull and see if the traction works appropriately and isn't making any noise. This machine's weird. Let's see if I can. I think it's right about there. So we obviously have a brake that's completely worn out, and the cable doesn't want to retract. It might be dirty, don't know, but that's not what the owner wants me to work on. I'll still try to make sure it works right, of course, but I think for the purpose of this video, we are good to go. So if you don't have a welder, you'd have to replace those brackets. If you do what we just did, weld it up, clean it up, re-drill, re-tap. I put in a different screw. Not sure if anyone noticed, but I did put, a different bolt, mainly due to the fact the other one, the threads were a little garbled, and I don't feel like having to deal with this again. So, yeah, I am here to go. I'll see you next time. Don't forget to subscribe. Follow me on Instagram at smallengine101. See you on the next one. Have a good night.